If you're a fan of Don Bluth films, then stick around, because you're about to discover 10 behind-the-scenes facts about An American Tail. In the 1980s, the massively successful filmmaker Steven Spielberg wanted to break into the animation business, and needed to find a talented animator to lead the project. The former Disney animator Don Bluth was able to get his attention with the success of his indie film, The Secret of NIMH. Though The Secret of NIMH wasn't a huge hit, it impressed Steven Spielberg enough for him to offer Don Bluth the director's chair on An American Tail. For many years in Hollywood, major movie studios steered clear of making animated feature films because nobody thought anyone could compete against Disney. But in the 80s, Disney was in a period of decline, having released several films that either bombed or didn't attract big audiences like they used to. So with that, and having Spielberg's name attached, Universal Pictures finally felt confident enough to take Disney on. One significant contribution Spielberg made to An American Tail was the name of its protagonist. Spielberg named the character Fievel Mouskowitz in honor of his grandfather, whose Yiddish name was Fievel. Don Bluth had doubts about the name, because he thought it was too foreign-sounding and that audiences wouldn't remember it. But Spielberg was insistent, and in the end, he was right, because Fievel became a very popular character with kids of that era. An Indiana Jones reference can be seen when Fievel is running away from the cats during the Cossacks' raid, and his hat falls from his head. Fievel retrieves it right before one of the cats gets there, which calls back to Steven Spielberg's Raiders of the Lost Ark. Don Bluth felt Henri was an essential character to act as a voice for the statue welcoming Fievel to the new world, and the bird was originally going to look scraggly and worn, but when Christopher Plummer was cast for the part instead, Henri was drawn with a more dignified look, to match Plummer's voice. Actor Philip Glasser, who voiced Fievel, says that the mouse's New York nickname, Fillie, came from his own grandmother who had a thick Bronx accent. One day, she dropped Glasser off at the recording studio, and Don Bluth overheard her call him Fillie, and thought the name could work as a nickname for Fievel, which helped ease the director's concerns over the character's foreign-sounding name. The scene when Fievel presses up against a window to look into a classroom filled with American school mice is based on a story Steven Spielberg remembered about his grandfather, who told him that Jews were only allowed to listen to school lessons through open windows, even if it rained or snowed. Aside from the story and great characters, the songs of An American Tail were also a surprise hit with audiences. Some were out there as the flagship song of the movie that Fievel and his sister sing, and while the young voice actors sing it in the film, a pop version was recorded for the end credits and soundtrack by Linda Ronstadt and James Ingram. And to everyone's surprise, Somewhere Out There became a huge hit, peaking at number 2 in the Billboard Hot 100, was nominated for an Oscar, and won Song of the Year at the Grammys. At the time of its release, An American Tail was the highest-grossing non-Disney animated feature, and was also one of the first to outperform a Disney movie, which at the time was The Great Mouse Detective. The film's success helped director Don Bluth make 2 more popular animated films in the 1980s, which were The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. If you've seen the movie, you know that it has some pretty dark subject matter, and many film critics thought that the movie went too far for a family-friendly target audience. The highly influential critics Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert gave the film 2 thumbs down, with Ebert declaring it way too depressing for young audiences. So let me know in the comments if you thought it was too scary for kids too. And make sure to click one of the videos you see on the screen to discover more fun facts about your favorite films.